Hello, welcome to my first review of a knife in 2020. I am going to talk about one of my two favorite things, not the vodka, the big knife by Dulo Knives 4E. Very good. Привет. All right, sorry about that. To all my Russian friends, I got nothing but love. All right, today we're gonna talk about one of my battle knives I like to call. It's a custom knife by Dulo Knives. Check this gentleman out. He is in Bulgaria. You can email him, just go to duloknives.com or Google Dulo Knives. I got a couple knives from him. This is my favorite one. I also got a Puko and Nitro 77. So this guy deals with some pretty epic steels. I first came along with him. I think most people that have ever bought a knife from him probably saw him originally on the DBK boys, Dutch Bushcraft boys, or whatever they're called. They're hilarious. Check out their channel as well. I came across this guy not only because he creates these massive monster beauties, and he's got 100 different styles. He does small knives as well, but it's because he's really uses pretty much, not every steel, but pretty much any steel that you want, from K390, which has crazy edge retention, to Nitro 77, which is completely stainless, zero carbonate, 100% nitro, to one of my favorite steels, I would say, especially in this kind of knife, this Vanadis 4E or Vanadis 4 Extra. I'm not a huge steel nerd. I like steels. I kind of research them when I'm looking at it, but this particular one, the reason why I really like it, it has really good edge retention and amazing toughness. So just to kind of go over why you would want that and what really is the difference. Tough and edge retention, shouldn't that be the same thing? Well, not really. So in the knife world, without going too complex, there's a whole bunch of different things that make up knives. Most of the time, most steels use the same stuff, it's just in different balances. This particular one, it has great edge retention in the fact that it stays sharp for a long time, comes at 62 or 63 HRC, which is the Rockwell scale that shows how strong it is, or hard it is, sorry, hard, not strong. But it's also tough enough that it won't crack or chip or break. So one of the things that you notice with some of these super strong steels, for example, like a Maximet, K390, these steels you can cut, and you look online, there's tons of awesome Cedric and Ada and a bunch of different knife tests where these guys are literally cutting 1,000 pieces of a rope and it's still paper sharp, or they can still cut a piece of paper with. So that's the edge retention. If you're looking at doing nothing but boxes all day long and you're not worried about chipping anything, that's something that you gotta aim for. But with an outside bush knife, like they call this the DBK, big DBK, which is basically the design that DBK came up with. Maybe not the design it came up with, but the one he sent to DBK for testing. He had a contest with the K390 steel on one of the things, and that ended up being the best retention. If I were to choose a steel on a larger blade like this, I would go with the Vanadis 4 Extra, because one of the things that you're doing with this, when I carry a knife like this, is because I'm not carrying a hatchet. You know, so I use this to split wood, I use this to kindle, I use this to actually act like a mini hatchet. I cut down limbs, I brush trees, I do all kinds of stuff with this thing. And with this actually, I've gone through bone, no problem, on animals. I've used it actually to gut one as well. So it's got very good toughness. The thing that you want to worry about when you're out there, I'll give you another steel to look for if you're looking for something that's tough. It's renowned for its CPM 3V. I would say this measures up very similar to its toughness, but much better edge retention. I really, really like this steel. I'll go out on a hunting trip and I'll make fire with it. You can see I don't know if you can or can't, but I used the flint and everything on it. So the ferro rod on it. This starts fires, it breaks down wood, no problems whatsoever, and I still have that razor edge on it. I've actually even, like I said, I've gone through bone with it, which is a pretty tough material that usually folds over the blade, and this guy doesn't. Whereas I've used other knives that may be harder or a higher HRC, and they've chipped. I really, really like this steel. I've mentioned this in other videos. I got extra large hands, so this thing fits my hand like nobody's business. Check out the case it comes with, or the sheath it comes with. This is pretty sweet. Obviously, it's all real leather. Slides it, I mean, it's a bigger knife, so. Usually it goes in a little bit easier than that. But anyways, you can see that it claps nicely. You can either side dangle it like this, like a regular knife, or you can run it across your front. If I'm doing a lot of bending over, I'm actually just gonna strap on the opposite side here, my belt through this way, so you're carrying it laterally. Really cool. It's beautiful. It's got the Dulo emblems and logos. This is the kind of knife that I would really, and you can put your ferro rod in it here as well. So this is something that, I mean, if I'm backpacking into the mountains for sheep, it's way too big for that, and I'm gonna be using a jet boil anyway, so I wouldn't be using that. But on my mule deer hunts, on whenever, if I'm going out, getting off my quad, and I'm going out for the day kind of thing, this is usually the knife that's on my side because I don't need an axe with me, I don't need anything. I could just get some pieces of wood, bring those down, split them like, you know, the videos that you see here, split it up easily, you know, throw a ferro rod or a lighter or whatever I got on it, and I'm rocking, I'm ready to go. As well as I can break down an animal pretty simply with this. Usually I have something smaller as well to skin with, like another secondary pocket knife. I mean, realistically, the downside is you will not be, well, I guess you could, but most likely you're not gonna be eating with this or cutting steaks. So it's a little bit dramatic for that. But all in all, this is an amazing knife. Check out Dulo Knives. Like I said before, I paid for this myself. This is one of the other really cool things, okay? So I'm gonna throw this out. I highly recommend checking out custom knife makers for fixed blades. They are a steal of a deal in comparison. I'll give you an example. I paid 180 US for this knife. May or may not be more now. Look at the chunk of that steel that runs all the way across. It's insane. This thing is, you can beat something down. It's like, it's a hammer, it's a hatchet really, and works, right? You're never gonna worry about this coming through. I mean, it comes, look at the beautiful liners in between it. This is a elder burl handle, so it's I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of like plasticized or something, so it's weather resistant. You're not gonna worry about swelling. This kind of handmade, beautiful knife for 180 US, or another knife that I enjoy, but I'm paying $240 US, which is a production line, you know, LCN 200 steel pocket knife from Spyderco. Now, I'm not downing Spyderco. It is what it is. They're making their money. They're doing their thing. But this little knife, which is a great knife, but this little knife versus this beast of a chunk of steel of knife, of design, that literally, like this is, if you want an apocalypse knife, this is it for 180 US. Like I said, prices might be more now. I don't know. At the time that I bought this a couple of years ago, that's what they were. But check him out. He's usually got about a 6-month waiting list, give or take, till it arrives. I believe it's about 3 or 4 months. Up to 6 months to get it finished. He sends you pictures. Check out his YouTube channel, Dulo Knives. You'll see all the videos of the knives that he's created. And those knives are actually, you'll see this knife in there. He creates your knife, puts it on. He's like, check out the YouTube video. Let me know if you like it. Really cool knife. Let's go outside and take a look at it and play with it a little bit more. So one of the things I forgot to mention is actually really important about, and he can make the blade shape or angle any which way you want, but one of the things that makes this really cool is they call it a Scandi Vex. So, hold on one sec. You have your convex, which is kind of like an angle like this. That's probably your strongest, and it's very easy to do different types of cuts with. And then you have your Scandi or Scandinavian grind, which is basically a very high V cut. And that allows you to do some pretty amazing carving with and stuff. This is kind of a combination. As you can see, it's got the big secondary bevel there. So that's your Scandi, but it curves down. Oh, it's such a nice day. Oh. Ah! All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed our first knife video of 2020. I'm hoping to do a few more down the line. It's something that I really enjoy and I dig. Obviously, we got tons of firearms still coming up for review. If you guys have anything specific you'd like me to review, please put down there. And remember, do me a favor, subscribe. If you want to be notified every Thursday when these videos come out, hit that notification button. Let's build this community. Put some comments. I reply to everybody's comments right now, so I'd love to be able to chat with you. And if you think I did something wrong, great. If you love what you see, please put it down. I appreciate it. Until then,